Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Monday, March 25th, 2024. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen when you focus on what is good. Because if you are focusing on the negative things in life, if you are focusing on your problems, there are no benefits in those things. So don't focus on it. Yes, we do have to resolve problems, but don't focus on it. Resolve it to be already done, complete, fixed. Yes. So focus on what is good. If you are out there traveling about today, make sure you are not distracted by being on your phone too much, because it is not safe to be distracted by being on your phone. So keep yourself safe and keep your family members safe, and make sure you use that hand sanitizer, wash your hands, and say a prayer. It never hurts to pray. So keep yourself safe and your family members safe. I always remind you of these things because I care. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And if you are uncomfortable giving on the apps, please look at my business address on my Facebook page, which is SB Favor Thinking Podcast. Go to my Facebook page, SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and you can see my business address there, and you can send me anything you want. Just look at the address, okay? Thank you so much. Well, I do have an inspirational quote for you today. My inspirational quote is, make sure you shape this day with good things as you pray. Because when you pray, you are giving power to something good today. That's right. Sometimes people think that prayer is just a religious act. No, prayer is a position of power. Yes, it is. Prayer is a position of power, because every time you take a moment in your day to pray, you are positioning yourself with power. That's right. I do not personally start the day without prayer. I have to pray. I feel like if I start the day without prayer, I feel like I've done something totally wrong or something totally out of order. So I have to pray. I have to position myself at the beginning of the day to acknowledge God, to stay focused, to have peace, to have joy, and just to know what to do and what not to do. A lot of times at the beginning of the day, it is good. I always pray for direction in the day. Because when we position ourselves to be in a place of power, that means that we can have the ability to not be overtaken by these little things that come at us sometimes throughout the day. Have you ever started your day off really, really good? You woke up happy and you left your house, you got on the road, and then all of a sudden somebody in traffic or something just happens to just make your day go in another direction you didn't expect? Have you ever experienced that? Well, that's why it's good to pray. Because no matter what happens throughout your day, prayer can help you to get through it, no matter what it is. Prayer can help you to have a better perspective about the day. Don't think of prayer as a religious act or a religious moment, because if you look at it like that, then the doesn't give you the understanding of how powerful it really is. Prayer is a position of power. That's what I call it. And the reason why I call it a position of power is because there are many times in my life I have woke up in the morning and prayed about my day in the midst of challenges. And I can recall my day being so much better after I prayed. When I thought about the inspirational quote I wanted to discuss today, I started asking myself, what is important to me today? What is important for this day? What do people need to be reminded of today? And the word prayer came to my mind. Because we must understand and receive and use the privilege of prayer. Prayer is a privilege. That's right. It's a privilege because it gives you access to the person that is absolutely sovereign. Prayer gives you access to the one that controls the heart and the minds of men, women, everything. He's sovereign. God is sovereign. And I'm not trying to preach to you. I just simply want to encourage you, admonish you, and remind you of something you have access to. That's right. It's a privilege. It's an opportunity. It's a gift. Because many of us, we walk through this life being dragged and we don't have to. We don't have to let the day drag us along. We can take control of this day by praying. A simple prayer. Doesn't have to be a prayer of a whole hour or 2 hours or 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be that. Throughout the day, when you get behind the wheel, when you leave your house, when you think about loved ones, when you think about your children, pray for them. Yes, I am reminded all day, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I am reminded always to pray. Because I used to look at prayer like it was just a religious thing. Like, oh, I don't have to pray that much. I used to think like that. Oh, yes. But I don't think like that anymore. Because I realize and I understand that prayer is a position of power. That's right. Prayer is a position of power because it ignites your mind. It ignites your spirit. It ignites your heart to do good things. And it ignites environments you live in, environments you work in, environments you have to cope within. Yes, prayer will ignite that environment for something good. When I used to work in the office many years ago, because thank God I don't work in the office anymore. I work from home. But when I worked in the office around a bunch of people, I was about to say a bunch of fools, but I'm not going to say that. When I used to work in the office around a bunch of people, when they started acting crazy, I would walk in the bathroom and pray. Yes, I would walk in the bathroom and pray instead of getting involved in the crazy conversations, instead of getting involved in the mess that was going on in the toxic environments that I worked in. Instead of getting involved in it, I would walk in the bathroom and I would just pray. I would pray, God, just bring peace to this environment. Help everybody to get along today. God, I hope that you, and I pray that you just help us to do our jobs effectively. I would pray like that. That's right. I would pray a simple prayer. I wasn't hollering and screaming and, Lord, you got to do. No, I was saying a simple prayer of, God, can you just help this environment? And when I would leave the bathroom and walk back to my desk with a smile on my face, my coworkers would look at me and say, Sheree, what did you just do? And I would just have a smile on my face because in that moment I had peace. And of course, the environment would change. It would change to something better. It was more peaceful. It was more joyful. So prayer is a position of power when we stop trying to fix everything ourselves, and when we stop trying to figure out everything ourselves and position ourselves with power. We must remember to pray. When we need to position ourselves with power, we must remember to pray. That's right. And we need to position ourselves with power throughout the day. Just like you drink water. If you don't drink water, you will be thirsty. If you don't drink water, you will walk around not feeling very well because your body needs water. Well, that's how prayer is to me. It's not a religious act. No, it is a position of power. That's right. Because let me tell you something. There are some people out there today in this world. They think, oh, I have a Bentley. I have $100,000s of dollars or millions of thousands of dollars in my bank account, and I don't need anything else, and that's all I need. But guess what? Some things can't be received or brought because you have money. Some things only come by being humble and being subject to the one that is completely sovereign. And once again, I have to say this to you. I am not trying to preach to you. I am simply trying to encourage you to think about what your power is. I want to encourage you to think about what you have access to. That's right. You have access to power that is beyond this natural state. Now, I don't want to get too deep into what is spiritual, because the point and purpose of this inspirational quote is to simply remind you to pray, because we don't know everything, and we can't do everything ourselves. That's right. We can't do everything ourselves, and we don't know everything. I don't care how much education you have, and I don't care how much money you have, and I don't care about the success, the levels of success you have achieved. We all don't know everything. The only one that knows everything is God. And I say that in the context of acknowledging His presence, His existence, His power, His love, and His greatness, because God is real. I am not a religious person, but I am a believer. Yes, I am. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm a believer, because sometimes when you talk about God, people don't want to hear it. And the reason why sometimes people don't want to hear it is because they've been damaged by religion. So make sure you position yourself with power today to pray, because your job, your money, your name brands, all that stuff can't help you when you need peace. All that stuff can't help you when you are trying to figure out a problem you don't have the answer to. But the position of power will help you. And that's why we have to pray. There are times in my life when I kept asking myself, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through this? Certain seasons and times I kept asking myself. And And then I talked to myself. I talked with myself and I said, wait a minute, why am I even thinking about this? All I have to do is pray. All I have to do is just pray. If I pray all day, while I'm driving, while I'm walking around, while I'm just walking through my day, all I have to do is pray. It doesn't matter how much or how many times, but I kept telling myself, if I just pray, then I will know how to get through this day. I will know what to do today. I will know how to resolve a problem. Yes, I will have everything I need to get through the problem, because once again, we do not have to be dragged through this day. I hope what I am saying to you is a reminder to do something you haven't done, or to do something more often. Yes. So prayer is like drinking water. It refreshes you. It replenishes you. It positions you. It helps you. It encourages you. Prayer renews you. Yes, prayer does all of those things. And when you develop an understanding of what prayer is, you will take part of what it can provide for you, and you will understand the advantages of praying. When someone is getting on my nerve and they are just totally annoying, without just talking and telling them you're getting on my nerve, I'd rather just be quiet and go pray for them. Yes, because sometimes when somebody is just bothering you and they're saying things you don't like, as soon as you say something about it, sometimes that will cause more of conflict. That will cause more conflict. Or it will cause an argument. So it's best to simply pray for them. Yeah, so I do that. Not all the time, but I do that a lot. When I feel like I should, so to speak. Because some things are not meant to address at certain times. So prayer is a position of power. And I am reminded to talk about this today. And I am reminded to stay in the position to pray so that I also can get through this day. When challenges come, when you pray, you will know what to do. You may not know what to do immediately, but at some point you will know what to do when you pray. So I hope that what I have stated is something to help you to think. I hope that it's something to encourage you. And I hope that you will have a good day. And so I am going to conclude this episode by praying. Why? Because this is what I feel I need to do. So for all of you that are listening to this episode at the sound of my voice, I pray that you have a good day. I pray that God touches your heart to be inspired by all that is good today. I pray in the name of Jesus that you will have joy in your heart, in your spirit. I pray that you will keep a smile on your face today. I pray that you will be encouraged In the midst of challenges, I pray that you will have speedy resolutions. I pray that God will guide you to make decisions and help you to walk in peace today. In the name of Jesus, I also pray that you will receive an answer according to what you have been expecting for the last couple of weeks. Whatever has been on your mind that has concerned you greatly, I pray that God will lift that burden for you. I thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And I thank you for being a part by donating to this podcast. I thank you for that. I thank you for your constant support. Thank you. And I hope that you will be prosperous in every way this week. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You can find me there. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking like and clicking the bell so that you can receive a notification each time there is a new episode of SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. And make sure you subscribe to me on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to me. Subscribe to me there and make sure you share this podcast with others. And once again, I pray that you be well. I pray that you be well in every way. I pray that you will have good energy all around you this week. That is my prayer for you. And once again, if you'd like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $ SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And thank you so much for your support, and you have a good day.